a YouTube video of mine because that is kind of bad. So welcome guys to today's ICYFAR. It is going to be Worker Massacre. There's going to be over 500 workers killed today. It's going to be sick. Before I do go into the games for that though, let's announce next week's topic, which is going to be the Starcraft mod. It just came out today, so get in there, guys. The information is down below the YouTube video in the description. It's in chat as well, and yeah. Hop on in, send me your funnest games. At the moment, it's a 3v3 map. You can play it 1v1, 2v2, whatever. Send me your most entertaining replays from that, and I'm going to have a lot of fun casting those next week. But for now, let's dive on into game, because we have a whole bunch of games today. We have hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of workers dying, so I'm excited for it. Let's go, guys. It is ICYFAR Tuesdays, Worker Massacre, and we are spawning here into game number 1. Spawning down here in the bottom right-hand side, our red Terran player, it is Morph. And his opponent spawning up here in the top left-hand side of Frozen Temple, another Terran player. This is Kaskran. Now we are starting off with a shorter replay here, which is meant to kind of showcase the whole theme of the daily, and then we've got a few longer ones which are going to be a little bit more epic, and this should be bloody amazing. If you guys are losing frames there in Twitch chat, I see a few complaints. I think it is on your end. I haven't dropped any frames whatsoever. Nonetheless, looks like it's going to be a gas first into a barracks here for our red Terran Morph, and the same on the other side for Kaskran. But Kaskran actually, there we go, does put 3 guys on gas. So while we've just got a bit of downtime at the start, oh man, this is like my private time. Basically, this is where I use you guys as my therapist, because I you know, I get to bore you with stories of my life. But oh my god, I am so sore right now. I actually worked out 2 days in a row. This is like a nerd history was made. I actually worked out 2 days in a row. I'm so proud of myself. Like, I think I can just not exercise and eat only chocolate every meal for like 6 weeks now to reward myself. It's pretty amazing. So I've woken up in a bloody good mood. I've had my coffee, had some raisin toast with peanut butter, and I'm looking very excited to cast some games of a hell of a lot of workers dying. Looks like both guys going to go for a factory and a fast second gas, man. These guys really want to just get in each other's face. Morph's going for the Reaper, and it looks like Kaskran on the other side is just opening up Marines. But his factory is not any quicker, so he's gonna, I wonder if he's gonna get like a reactor out, or is he just gonna go like maybe tanks and medevacs? He is gonna be going for that reactor. It looks like maybe double Hellion production, and yeah, Morph's already massing up Reapers, man. This is like the Frozen Temple TVT build. It's where you just make Reapers and Hellions, and then you just attack your opponent as fast and as constantly as possible. So I think Kaskran's gonna have to watch out in terms of that timing, and there we go. It doesn't even wait for an add-on, just non-stop Reaper, Hellion, and that Starport all being produced at once. So Kaskran, if he can swap that factory over and get a few Hellions out for defense, he will be okay. But it's always so dicey playing TVT on this map. This ledge is so damn big. If you're ever out of position, those Reapers can just dive up, jump into your mineral line, and your economy just gets torn apart. Looks like that's probably going to be Morph's plan here. I'm a little bit overly excited right now just about the idea of seeing lots of workers die. I really hope we get to see some disruptor shots on some workers. That's one of the things we don't get to see nearly as much anymore. The early days of the Legacy Beta, when people were just dropping disruptors every single game, and people were just not reacting and getting tilted as all hell because they didn't have any tight builds, or they didn't know how to react. They'd just like panic and just get really mad and then lose. Looks like, ooh, all right, Kaskran's going to try and expand here, and he is going for that double Hellion production. Meanwhile, though, Morph's going Cloaked Banshees, more Hellions on the way, and adding his own reactor on that barrack. So Morph's got no plan of expanding just yet. He just wants to attack as hard as he can. Morph's just having a bit of a poke around, actually. I think he just got tickled by this Marine a little bit. Maybe could have dived on in there, but knew 2 Hellions were about to pop, so he had to be a bit careful. And oh, this Hellion, man. He popped out on the wrong side of the factory. He's like, get back up there, man. All right, he's going to get back up there. And I have a strong feeling that Kaskran is just going to get destroyed when this Banshee arrives. What has he got? He does have an engineering bay, actually, that's about to finish. So looks like that will time out well if he puts a turret down straight away. Otherwise, both players just kind of having this little bit of a Mexican standoff. No one wants to make a move yet until the other one actually moves down to take their natural. More Hellions do join up here for Morph, though. 2 Reapers, 4 Hellions, and a Banshee. That's a frightening force, but... Oh, the Liberator! The Liberator doesn't see it, and they don't see the Liberator either. The Liberator just goes right past. At home, there are 2 Marines to defend this Liberator, but they need to avoid the Freedom Zone if they want to do damage. Meanwhile, the Hellions, Reapers, and the Banshee are all going to come over. I think I can see where this game is going to go south very, very suddenly. This Liberator is just waiting for the prime moment, probably waiting for a distraction before it does go in. And now Cascarian's coming out with the Hellions. Hellions versus Hellion Reaper. Who's going to win? Oh, it all comes down to those Reaper grenades, I think. Looks like Cascarian just going to pull back for now. The Liberator does come in. Doesn't siege up just yet. The Banshee's heading in at the exact same time. It is already cloaked, and here we go. Oh, man. Freedom! The Liberator is going to William Wallace the shit out of that mineral line. Meanwhile, the Banshee... Oh, no. It's only just attacking the mineral line. There's no turret. He built the eBay, but he didn't build a turret. Cascarian... Oh, no. He tried to start a turret, but it didn't actually start up there. This Banshee is going to town. Oh, the Marines from Morph actually went around the Freedom Zone. They don't care about your William Wallace bullshit, son. They just destroy that. The Banshee's coming in down here. There's only 1 Marine. There's nothing that shoots up. There's no Viking out right now. Cascarian's panicking a little bit, trying to transition the workers to the natural, but oh! He's sieging up the natural. So he's doing a bit of damage. This is exactly what we wanted to see. Oh no, there's no response to the Banshee. Get out of here. Oh my god. I don't really cast ICYFAR games, do I? I just generally just laugh. I talk about what's happening and then I laugh. Well, that was an amazing way to start the daily. Yeah, work a Massacre, guys. Alright, we're going to dive on into the next game. It's going to be a PVZ next up. So the mirror matches are over. Can I tally the workers, though? Oh, I should have been tallying the workers. I'll go back and check the worker count in that one at the very end of the episode. I'll definitely be checking in these next games. Let's dive straight into the next one while we do that, and then I'll have a running worker tally. I've got like a piece of pen. I got a piece of paper, a piece of pen, and I'll write on it with a paper, apparently, because I can morph reality to work in the way that I wish. So let's dive on into this game, guys. Spawning down here in the bottom right-hand side, our red Protoss player, it is Alejandro. From, what's the clan? It's Gamers. Oh, okay. That makes sense. Maybe it's like Gamers United or something. And his opponent, the Zerg player up here in the top left-hand side of, once again, Frozen Temple, it is VFAM Dark Minions. Lots of VFAM mates hanging around. The Pepperlisk. I love the, or Pupilisk? I don't know, I feel like you should almost like, yeah, call it a Pupilisk, but anyway. Looks like Dark Minion's going to be going for Hatch first. I guess it makes sense that this is a map where you get a lot of worker massacres, because there are these like 3 paths across the map, and if you push down one and your opponent pushes down another, like there's a lot of times where the armies kind of just pass each other, and you just kind of run into the other guy's base, and you're like, hey, there's nothing here. Oh shit, he's at my base, and you just kill each other's economies really, really hard. You know what? Eon Blue is such a great mod. He's the guy who checks the replays for me and selects them. I'm starting to think he's got a bit of favoritism, because he's actually picked one of his own replays for the last replay today, of him playing Protoss. So it better be a damn good replay. I'm just going to have to take away his mod powers. But it's he says he's going to tally up the ones from that first game, so I don't even have to go back and do it. He's going to do it for us. So I just need to tally up how many workers die in this game, and that should be sick. Looks like Zerg, man, Dark Minions actually went 3H before pool, and Alejandro's seen this, and this is a pretty small map. Is he going to try and go aggressive? Back at home, he's got 2 gases mining. He's already got his core up. Or he could go for like a really fast Stargate. Maybe get like an Oracle out really fast. Maybe go DTs. I reckon maybe poke with an Adept or 2, and then do that would be pretty sick. And it looks like Dark Minion's actually going to do this like super gas-heavy kind of... What was this build used to be called? The Ice Fisher build? The... Oh man, his name's eluding me. Spinishiwa, the Spinishiwa build, where he's like, just get so many minerals that it doesn't even matter. Maybe he'll build like spine crawlers in each mineral line to defend adepts and just mass queens. And the thing is, that'll actually work out pretty well against the potential Oracle tech coming out here from Alejandro. Alejandro is going to be expanding behind this as well, not going completely all in to punish it. But if he can get an Oracle to a base where there's only one queen, he still has a good chance to pick up a lot of worker kills. And it looks like Dark Minions, man. He's just like, let's not take gas. Gas is for losers. Let's just build a incredible amount of drones. I'd really like to see a little bit of creep spread between these bases, because these bases are spread pretty far apart. Especially if your main defense is queens, it's going to be real hard to support those bases. But it looks like, oh, Oracle is the order of the day. Alejandro is going to be diving into one of those mineral lines and doing well. But it looks like, oh, 3 more queens are already in production. Or, yeah, 3 more queens. Every single hatchery building another queen. So Dark Minions is saying, you know what? Mass queen, mass drone. This is some, like, true inspired stuff right here. I mean, I guess True would do the same, but he'd have a Zergling speed, and then he'd pull off gas and never mind gas for the next 8 minutes of the game. But, you know, drawing some inspiration from some of those more creative pro gamers, maybe. Goes for the double gas only at 3 minutes 40 in the main base. That is so delayed. That's sick. Zealot comes in here and, oh, this is kind of cute. Zealot does a little bit of damage to that queen, and now the Oracle knows it can beat it in a fight. Oracle's going to turn on its laser beam of death. And actually, no, not going to focus the queen. Going to go straight for the drones, which is probably the good decision. But, oh, another queen does pop out, and it's taking up a lot of that Oracle's damage. The Oracle's got two drone kills. Is it going to get a third? Does get a third, a fourth, and a fifth. Oh, and even a sixth. Oh, doesn't quite get the 7th drone kill, but 7 workers total have gone down so far. So actually not a bad bit of harassment there for Alejandro. Of course, losing the Oracle's a little bit of a pain. He's going to build 1 more. And behind this, adding his gases. Looking like he wants to drop that 3rd Nexus as well. And there's just no threat from Dark Minions unless he wants to walk those queens across the map. All he has is queens and drones right now. So a good bit of harassment, putting a thick dent in the economy of Dark Minions before he kind of spiraled out of control there. A big thanks. I see a few people subbing in Twitch chat. I do want to give you guys a few massive thanks once the show's over, as I don't want to obscure the YouTube VOD too much with the live audience. So yeah, thank you very much, guys, for that support, though. Looks like it is going to be going into a macro transition here from Alejandro, you know, correctly recognizing there isn't much threat. But actually, as I say that, this creep is starting to spread down. If this creep gets kind of far across, those queens might be able to like waltz up the front and just kind of A-move the front with mass queen. It's kind of iffy because they're so slow off creep. It's hard to actually get them in range, but it's something which does have a little bit of potential to get some work done. And this Oracle actually, oh my god, there's no spore on that 3rd base, but he doesn't realize it. Oh, the other bases do have spores. Here we go. He's going to go for the rally of drones, I think. Looks like, oh no, more focused on scouting for now. And he sees no lair. At this point, he's going to be like, whoa, what the hell, man? No lair? What are you doing? He's just building drones and upgrades and queens, man. That's it. Oh, going to turn on that laser beam. Realize the 3rd base doesn't have any anti-air. Grabs 3 cheeky drone kills. Does get on out of there. That brings it up to a total of 10 workers killed. VFam, Captain Dark Minions, continuing to just mass queens. I feel like he's trying to fulfill some other daily topic where I was like, play mono battles or something like that. But he's just gonna do what he can with that. Meanwhile, Alejandro, really smart at home, has like not built any fighting units. He just has a Zealot in his main base wall, and he's like, well, you don't have Zergling speed, you actually can't attack me right now. I'm just going to clear up Overlords with one Phoenix, poke around with an Oracle, and really focus on building up that economy. Does have a few cannons around as a little bit of support, and is now going to be dropping that Twilight Council and these gateways. So just kind of transitioning on upwards, and man, a 5th base already. Oh, Dark Minions. This is the man with a plan. You can tell he's played this before. He's just like, yeah, I'm just going to cover the map and creep and hatcheries and defend with Mass Queen. He's still building queens. He is still building queens. He is at 15 queens, and he's building another one. I wonder if he's just going to keep building queens. What's he going to do with the lair? Maybe add infestors in with it or something? He's got some weird tricks up his sleeve, no doubt. DT Shrine is on the way, as is a Robo and a Templar Archives. Alejandro saying, if you're going to be greedy, I can just get every single tech in the book. I don't need to worry about any aggression. And oh my god, is the Phoenix going to deny it? No! No! 6th base on the way for Dark Minions. He's got a Macro Hatch finishing up as well. Roach Warren is on the way and still building queens. 2 at a time. 16 queens out right now. Queens trying to break rocks is actually the funniest thing. Rocks have, I believe it's like 3 armor. Yeah, they've got 3 armor, and a queen does 4 damage per attack. They do have 2 4 damage attacks. So each queen, each time they do a set of attacks, it does 2 damage to the rocks. So even with like, what, 15 queens here, it's still going to take... They're going to do 30 damage a volley. Okay, I'm not going to do maths on stream. It took them forever to kill that, despite how many queens there were. Nice little bit of Zealot harass down here from Alejandro, and actually already setting up to get more harassment going. Zealots warping in, pylons all over the map. The Phoenix scouting around as well. He realizes he needs to start getting some damage done. He needs to slow this Zerg down from building up right now. 87 drones and 18 queens. That is all the Zerg has, and he's building 17 more drones. And 6 more queens and 2 upgrades. He's literally just building queens. Uh-oh. He's only got 1 queen up here, though. There's only 1 queen to defend these Zealots. Those Zealots are just going to take that out. And these queens are so far off creep. Oh my gosh, this Zealot, though, it's getting the hatchery really low. He's going to need to chain transfuse that to keep that hatchery alive. But no, he's just walking back. Zealots up here, focusing this hatchery down. Drones starting to go down, and mass queen defense not working out so well for him right now. But I guess when you've got 98 drones, you can probably lose another 20 or 30 and not really care. This is just insane playstyles from both players. 5 DTs are actually going to be coming in as well. At the same time, a drone counterattack is going to be coming over here. What? No. Oh my god. What? He's going to attack with drones. Oh my god. These drones are just getting massacred. I don't even know if they're going to kill 1 Zealot. I don't think they're even going to get the cannon. The overcharge is just killing everything. DT is wrecking that main base. At the same time, Alejandro is having a little bit of a party, man. I don't know if you can beat a player as good as Alejandro here with just those units. And as I say that, man, I have to swap to Alejandro's camera because there may or may not be a cockroach that just ran onto my desk, which I need to kill right now. Ugh. Man, the feels when you become so Zerg that there's a fucking cockroach on your desk. Jesus Christ. Alright, back to the observing camera. That was interesting. DTs have killed the main base. Zealots have killed the top base. Zealots have killed the south base. Already 72 drones killed, 0 workers killed by Dark Minions. Dark Minions needs to stop trolling it at some point, and he needs to get some work done. I don't know how he's going to recover from this. He's lost so much tech. He's losing so many drones. He's down to just 45 workers, and he spent most of his bank as well. He does still have this monstrous 2-2 army, 2-2 upgrades with queens and roaches, and what? He's just ignoring the Zealots and walking across the map. He's like, oh crap, I think I just need to kill you. He's just going to dive across the map. He's just going to sacrifice those last bits of economy, and he's just going to try and kill his opponent. But there are carriers and Archons out. The thing is, there's only 2 carriers out. And with that many queens, they will snipe down interceptors so easily. This is going to be a really hard hold for Alejandro. Needs to get those immortals down there. Needs to use overcharges as well. These Archons are exposed. They need to get back. They need to wait for the other units to join in with them. The Archons go down so quickly. The DT is going to go down as well. The carrier interceptors are doing some nice damage. Keep in mind, though, they don't have +1 weapons. Up against the +2 carapace, queens, and roaches, their damage is so heavily reduced since interceptors have 2 attacks with very low damage, and already all the interceptors are knocked out of the sky. Dark Minions has just massacred everything here, and I think he's going to be able to overwhelm. More drones reinforcing here as well. He's down to just 22 drones. He's going to finally take down that cannon with the drones in the worker line. A few nice feedbacks on the queens, but there's so many more where that came from. It almost doesn't matter at this point. And it looks like the queens just are unstoppable right now. There's nothing Alejandro has that can defend this. The thing is, though, he's taking a base in the corner. He realizes he can't fight this. He's evacuating those probes. And what does Dark Minions actually have behind this? He's only got 23 workers. He's got 1 base mining. He's got next to no income. Even now, with one of his bases going down, Alejandro has a much larger income at 2,000 minerals a minute, 700 gas. He's just got to find some way to deal with these queens, or maybe to base trade? Go after the buildings? This is just so many queens. He keeps going in with a few interceptors at a time. And the queens with that 8 range, they just blast him out of the sky. And uh-oh, the queens are coming forward. Carriers, you need to run. You need to run. How often do you see queens snipe a carrier out of the sky? Oh, man. Alejandro is having a bad position right now. Trying to build more carriers. He's taking Nexi in the corners of the map. He's trying to take down these drones. He's going to be pretty successful at that. But once again, without those upgrades, this is going to be really tough. Those interceptors just doing almost no damage. Oh, High Templar are even getting shot down by queens. They're trying to use feedbacks and storms, but there's still 19 queens left over. This 4th base is going down. All the probes there are starting to die as well. This base up in the top right is getting prepared. The Zealot's starting to warp in there. He's going to be going for those counterattacks again. I think Alejandro is realizing he can't fight this. What's he building? He's actually got 2 Archons here. He's got a High Templar. He's got 2 carriers with 16 interceptors. But he's got to be really clever with how he uses the rest of his money. Since his income is blasted just down to this base, and this base once he gets workers up on it, this Zealot counterattack is going to be really integral at trying to do some of that counter damage, because we see Dark Minions has re-established 3 bases. If these Zealots can finish a few of those off, then that's going to be fantastic. There's no Roach. Oh no, there is a Roach Warren, but there's no gas. Dark Minions can't actually build any defense. This is his only army down here, and he's only got 3 Roaches in it, which are going to take forever to get back there. So these Zealots are just going to run rampant. They're going to have a while to do as much damage as they want. And meanwhile, Tempests are on the way for Alejandro. A clever transition here. Keep in mind, guys, it is up to 131 workers killed for Alejandro. 27 killed for Dark Minions, but Alejandro kept a lot of those probes alive. We can see it there. Fully mining base. He's got a good mining natural as well. Oh, the Zealots are going to run into some spines, and with the Roaches coming back as well, looks like they will be able to defend. But the Zealots are going to take out the spine crawlers, so any future attacks do have a pretty decent chance of working out pretty well there. And the Queens are going to steadily make their way back. 33 drones versus 40 probes. Both players trying to rebuild that economy right now. Dark Minion's going to be taking gases. Meanwhile, probe production is on the way for Alejandro. He's got these hidden corner bases. Does Dark Minions have any idea about these? Oh! Drone comes down to take an 8th base, or 7th base, spots the Nexus by accident, and he's going to move his entire army down there to punish that. Tempests are out now for Alejandro, so he can start picking away at these queens, but it is going to be one of the most painfully slow ways to deal with this army. If Dark Minions transfuses, it's going to take about, I'm gonna use like an estimation. I'm gonna say about 17 minutes for the Tempests to kill this many queens if they're shooting non-stop. And I don't think they're going to be shooting non-stop. Does get a hatchery snipe. That's pretty nice for Alejandro, but these queens are going to stop this expansion pretty hard. The cannons are going to go down here. These queens just moving on in relentlessly. There we go. Tempests come on in, and the Tempests start to rain down a bit of death. The Archons coming in. They do actually snipe off a couple of queens well, but now that the queens are in range, the Interceptors, the Archons, the DT, all going down very quickly. That DT actually did a lot of damage until it got stormed to death. These queens, though, they're just blasting the Interceptors out of the sky, blasting the Archons down. There's just not enough firepower for Alejandro, and he takes yet another engagement where carriers are dying to queens. These queens with this queen range, man, they are just unstoppable. That transfuse, those 2-2 upgrades, it really is those upgrades doing work. There's only +1 weapons on the ground for Alejandro. Without those flyer upgrades, these air units just struggle so hard against this. But he bought a bit of time to get a little bit more mining up. Because those queens are so slow, every time he pulls them away, he buys himself more time. And he's got 3 more Tempests on the way. 1 extra has just popped out. If he can build that Tempest count high enough, it's going to be really hard for Dark Minions to deal with. The queens are pushing in, though. They're going to start denying this expansion. Gonna add some more workers to the tally. Look at this though. Oh man, queens off creep is one of the most painful things. Really needs to spread that creep down here. But uh-oh, the Tempests, once they do start taking damage, things do get a little bit messy for them. The transfuse is on point so far. He managed to knock the energy pool from about 2,000 down to about 1,800. Good job, Tempests. Pat yourself on the back. Time to go home for a beer. And that looks like it's pretty much their plan right now. There's great creep in the middle still. He really needs an observer to start clearing that up. If he can clear up the creep, these queens are going to be impotent. They aren't going to be able to do anything. But if he can't do that, things are going to be really difficult. Still going with these Zealot counterattacks. They don't have charge. They do have those +1 weapons. If he can keep on limiting this economy, it's going to be great. Right now in that income tab, we see that Dark Minions has retaken the lead there. 1,700 minerals a minute to just 1,300, and roughly equal gas for both players. Very similar worker counts as well. But we are seeing more next side go down for Alejandro. Alejandro is going to take down that Spore, going to take down this Queen as well. The very, very slow reaction of Queens and Roaches is going to make their way to that north side of the map very slowly. If Alejandro can secure another base, though, he's going to be in a decent position. He's building 3 probes at a time as well, which is looking very nice. Dark minions here going to come up, clean these Zealots, and... Wait, this Nexus never died? This Nexus never went down in the bottom left-hand side of the map. Oh, man. And these Zealots are going to warp in, and they're going to be able to go straight into that base if he's watching. But I think he's actually already rallied into the other base. Really nice 1-2 punch harassment coming out here from Alejandro. The problem, as always, is how do you deal with 20 Queens when you've got so few units and such bad upgrades? The Zealots this time are just going to get shut down, and I think the Queen Roach is going to come down and finally finish off this expansion. The tally is up to 163 for this game. Not too bad. Not too bad. Toss can't drink beer or anything else. Are you kidding? Come on, man. It's like, what was that really bad movie with Stallone, right? The one where he gets defrozen from the past to come and fight crime in the future where there is no crime. And then the chick's like, hey, do you want to have sex? And he's like, yeah, all right. And then she puts like a headset on him, and it's like this virtual reality sex simulation, which is super weird. That's what Protoss drinking beer would be like. They just put like some sort of psychic headset on, and it makes them feel drunk. Like they don't actually have to like put liquid in their body, but it's like a futuristic version of being drunk, man. That's exactly what it'd be like. Can't argue with that analogy, boys. Demolition Man, that was it. It was Demolition Man. Thank you, Shershadi. Fantastic movie. Top-notch plot and acting. Looks like Alejandro is going to come in here on the top side of this map, start to clean stuff up. And, the High Templar! No, the Roaches get on top of them! Oh, no! So many High Templar going down! Oh, only kills a few Roaches and a hatchery for it. There was such a big investment there. Alejandro losing a very important part of his army, and the carriers stay out there for 6 seconds, and almost all of them die. The Queens are relentless. The creep is the big problem down here. These Queens, they're almost like a real unit that can move around. They only become suddenly obese when they step off that creep right now. You know, they're basically like someone who's very, very, very large, but has something they really, really want to eat right in front of them. Like, when they're on creep, the moment they step off creep, it's like me most of the time if there's not fucking nice food in front of my face. They just waddle around ever so slowly. What's on the way? We got more carriers coming for Alejandro. Still no upgrades though. Oh man. Okay guys, I just gotta double check this. So there's a gameplay setting you can turn on, which for some reason is turned off, which isn't allowing me to look at tooltips. And I just really want to turn this on. I should be able to look at it. Enable simple command card. Enable enemy unit selection. I should be able to see this. I'm pretty sure. I don't know why it's not showing up. But anyway, basically I'm going to look it up on Wikipedia for you guys while I put the camera on Dark Minions, because you guys need to appreciate just how bad the damage is against +2 carapace units. Oh, the Queens are coming in. All the interceptors disappeared. Oh, one Tempest goes down at the front. The carrier's going to get out of there, but every single interceptor is going to go down. These Tempests are going to try and shoot this down, but they've got to be ever so patient. He can't afford to be losing Tempests. No, another Tempest at the front and a carrier. They're both exposed. Alejandro. Oh, another Tempest goes down. And the carrier. Oh, no. Alejandro. He's got a few Immortals, Zealots, and the Charge Lot down here that... Dark Minions is clearly the one who submitted this replay, considering he keeps on attacking with drones. And very rarely has managed to kill anything with them. But looks like he's just going to go for the counterattack now. Alejandro is going to come down here, hit the south side of this map. So basically, guys, a Roach or a Queen starts with 1 armor. And then when you get an upgrade, each time it gives them +1 armor. So at +2 carapace, these Roaches and Queens both have 3 armor. And an Interceptor, I'm pretty sure, does 2 4 damage attacks when unupgraded, which means it's 2 1 damage attacks after the armor modifier. So each Interceptor shot does 2 damage to one of these units. Combine that with the fact that you've got about 1 billion transfusers, and carriers are almost completely useless against this composition. A unit which won't be useless, though, is the Disruptor, which is building out of that robotics right now. If that can get out, that's going to do massive damage against these clumped up Queens and Roaches. But he needs time. Once again, Interceptors going in. 1 Queen goes down. Oh, 2 queens went down. Oh, a 3rd queen almost going down, but not quite. Oh, okay, 4 queens have fallen, but the interceptors are almost all dead. The Tempests can't keep this up forever. The carriers need to get out of there. They're completely out of firepower. 1 carrier is going to fall once again. Here come the Zealots and Immortals. Actually, Immortals can do decent against this army, but there's just too many queens. They can't fight in range of them. 1 more carrier falls there. The Tempest at the front going down. Another carrier falls. Every single carrier gone. And yet another Tempest goes down as well. Oh no, Alejandro with the misclick. His Tempest is pathing right over the queens. And there's only 3 Tempests left. Oh no. Oh, big Disruptor Shot comes in. But Dark Minions just transfuses everything and doesn't even care. This is so stressful for Alejandro right now. He feels like he's just fighting the never-dying army, because he's always got just not quite enough of what he's focusing on. He's got like a few carriers, but they don't have the upgrades. He's got 1 Disruptor. He's got a few Archons or a few High Templar, but he never has the other units to support it. And oh my god, the drones are finally going to do it. They're finally going to do their job. Oh, that's the most impact. The 75 drones that he's thrown away this game. Sorry, 191 drones. That's the most damage they've ever done. These queens chase off the Protoss army, and they're finally going to turn their spines on that Nexus. It's going to do some beautiful, beautiful damage. The Immortals and Tempests trying to base trade a little bit here. Alejandro's still got that nice, nice hidden bases in the top right and so on. He's building 2 Disruptors at a time, actually. That could do some big damage. And, ooh, whiffs a Disruptor Shot. Only gets a Creep Tumor with that one. Really needs to buy another 30 or 40 seconds to get out a few Disruptors. Disruptors defending this ramp in the main base could be fantastic. But I don't think Dark Minions is going to give him time. Dark Minions is going to come on in here. Alejandro is desperately waiting for these Disruptors to come out. But, uh-oh, the Roaches are already on top. And Alejandro, man, he's always just got too little, just slightly too late. That Robo gets depowered at 99% production. Here comes a Disruptor from the main base, but uh-oh, there we go. He does micro it. Huge hit, gets 5 queens, but doesn't actually finish them off, so Transfuse will be able to heal that. Meanwhile, drones up here fighting against Zealots and Stalkers. That base does go down. The Immortals and Tempests up there continuing to clear through the last couple of bases here of Dark Minions. Dark Minions is really low on cash right now, actually. He's long distance mining. He needs more cash or he's not going to be able to build buildings in this base trade. There are still Disruptors building up here as well as Zealots, and they're going to be able to defend the main base and keep the very important tech alive for Alejandro. Alejandro's still got a lot of money, warping in 5 DTs as well. Wow, that's a really smart move right now. They're going to be fantastic in this base trade. But it looks like the last bastion of Alejandro's economy, or I should say the second last bastion, is finally going to get shot down. He's going to lose most of these probes on the retreat as well. Only about 3 or 4 are going to get out. Only has this base in the bottom side of the map now. This Nexus is going to go down in a matter of seconds. Where are those Dark Templar? Looks like they're just chilling at home. 3 Void Rays building at a time. Now, I love how Alejandro just keeps changing the units. He's like, crap, Carriers didn't work. Crap, Tempest didn't work. Make Immortals. Shit, Immortals didn't work. Make Templar. Crap, that didn't work. Make Archons. Now Void Rays and DTs is his last desperation move. But keep in mind, Overseers are an armored unit, and there's only 4 of them left, and all the tech is gone for Dark Minions. So if he can get like 3 or 6 Void Rays, overcharge, and just kill all the Overseers, the DTs will be able to win. So this is actually one of the really smart moves that Alejandro is trying to make happen. But he's very low on cash. He's strapped for it right now. Both players with next to no economy. We've got in the range of 200 to 400 minerals a minute. Alejandro actually still mining more, even after all of this. And these Tempests raining down death from on high. He's got to be careful that these Queens don't come back and trap these units, because if Alejandro loses these Immortals and Tempests, that really is kind of the last threat he has on the map. These DTs came down here and did a little bit of sniping action as well. Looks like Dark Minions is going to come back, and these Immortals and Tempests are very exposed right now. They are deep on creep. That's the Queen's territory, and they're about to let him know about it, man. Apparently, an extra 50 drones went down somewhere there as well, by the way. So we're over 300 workers killed in this game. Dark Minions is such a troll. I have such respect. He's like, you know, normally when you think of a worker massacre, you think, oh, I'll harass my opponent a lot and kill a lot of their workers. But Dark Minions was like, nah, man, I'm just going to make a pure mineral income. Mass Queen, so I have heaps of excess minerals, and then I'm just gonna run my own drones at him so he can massacre my workers. That way I know the workers are gonna die. It looks like, oh no, lonely Tempests do get blasted out of the sky, but at the same time, DTs of Alejandro doing some massive damage. He's even got a pylon in the back of the base here. And that's the last couple drones. Only 5 drones left here for, oh my god, only 2 drones left. Uh-oh, he's down to 1 drone. Ugh, where is it? Where is it? This is it. This is the last drone over here. If that dies, oh, and those immortals are so close by, then he is actually dead. And these DTs and Zealots are on their way to kill him. Uh-oh, if he loses that, he cannot rebuild any other structures. And that means this hatchery and this drone, this is it. Oh no, Dark Minions! Trolling for so long, ahead for so long, but the last drone goes down, and this is the last hatchery. Oh my god, Alejandro. Wait, no, there's more drones. They just popped. They need to build structures. They need to build structures. Wait, there's something. There's something on the map. I don't know where. But he didn't lose, so there must be something somewhere. Where? He's building an extractor there. Okay, he's killing the bases down here right now. I think there is a structures tab, right? I don't know the hotkey for it. I'm such a bad observer. I'm no funker, guys. And it looks like... oh! Okay, that's it. That's it. This is the last one. He's been revealed. This is the spore. He lost the extractor. He lost the extractor. Oh! Ah! He's going to transfuse. He's going to transfuse. He's going to transfuse. Oh my god, that's the last building. No! Why don't you... What? How did that survive? That was literally... If that got hit, he loses this game. I have to rewind that because that is the most ridiculous thing I've ever seen. It's like... Look at this spore. Ran for its life. Look at those little legs work. Oh my god. It regens just enough. 1 hit from dying. It's on 6 HP. It doesn't transfuse with 1,000 energy hanging around. And it survives. And then he's going to transfuse. Like I said, there's no drones out. That is the last structure. So he just has to run this around with his army and chain transfuse it if it gets focused. On the other side, there are 9 DTs, 2 disruptors, 4 immortals, which are, uh-oh, the immortals are being caught out. But, it looks like Dark Minions feeling a little bit nice. Going to let the rest of them maybe escape. Once they get off creep, they've got a much better chance of getting out of there. But, yeah, Dark Minions feeling a bit friendly, being a little bit nice. Void Rays coming in from behind. Oh, they want to go for the Overseers, I think. No, they're going for the Spore. They overcharge. They try to click on that Spore, but those Queens just snipe him out of the sky way too quickly. I still think going for the Overseers is a pretty good idea, but now that he's lost those, it's like a little bit too late. This army's kind of trapped up here. There's just too much creep. These Queens have too much mobility. If he could clear the creep, then the Queens wouldn't be able to corner him. But I think Dark Minions is going to do it. He's going to trap him in this corner. As long as he keeps that Spore Crawler alive, wherever it is, he is going to be fine. But he's got to keep that Spore alive no matter what is happening. He's coming up here. He's trying to catch those units. Did he leave the Spore over there? Where is it? I think it's in the middle of his army. Disruptor shot goes in, does a lot of damage to these Queens. The Tempest goes down. These Queens and Roaches coming in. There we go. There's the Spore. Transfuse, transfuse. You can't let this die. You can't let that die. There's 3 Immortals, a Disruptor, and a whole bunch of DTs and probes left. And I think he knows. I think he knows he's just got to click on this Spore Crawler. Those Immortals are going to do crazy damage. You've got to transfuse, brother. You've got to transfuse. What are you doing? No. Oh my god. Oh my god. Dark Minions. Manages to do it with the clutch transfuse. I swear he was just baiting that out as long as possible, panicking. But he does it. In the end, there's no units left. There's 3 probes. And I think Alejandro at the end of that doesn't GG. But I think he played admirably. Hats off to both of these players. That was the dumbest thing I've ever seen. Just quickly back in game. Workers killed, 261 plus 94. Alright, so that was a very creative way to play the challenge. 261, 94. Eon Blue, I'm sure, can post in chat. He says 35 workers died in that very quick game 1. Yep, so we're about the 400 mark right now in workers killed. We're going to go into the final game of the daily. Dark Minions. I just love that. He's just like, you know what? Let's just kill my own workers repeatedly. Like, I didn't get it. I was like, oh, he's going mass queens. He's just doing a creative build. And it's like, oh no. He's taking over 100 drones so he can run waves of 50 drones into the opponent's cannons and then create one of the messiest, craziest games ever. That was funny.